special event, one single Bitcoin in your portfolio could soon make you a millionaire. In fact, if you run the numbers, you'll see that Bitcoin $1 million is actually a mathematical certainty. I know it sounds improbable now, but here's the thing. Bitcoin is still in its infancy. Only 1 out of every 28,000 people own a single Bitcoin. But as more and more people start to understand how big this is, the profits will be gargantuan. Experts like Jeremy Liu, billionaire investor in Snapchat, say Bitcoin will go to at least $500,000. PayPal board member Wences Casares confirms that there is a higher than 50% chance that a Bitcoin is worth more than $1 million. The biggest mistake is not to own any Bitcoin, he says. Even Bill Gates recently declared Bitcoin as better than currency. In short, we're looking at one of the most unique and rare money-making opportunities in history. The only problem is, most people don't understand how to buy Bitcoins, and they certainly don't know how to purchase new digital currencies like Ethereum, which has gone up 3,000% in 6 months. Today, I want to show you how to do it. I'll reveal how a single Bitcoin could make you a millionaire. As Chandler Go, famed angel investor, says, one is enough when Bitcoin becomes $1 million. But today, I'll also show you the new digital currencies that can turn as little as just $10 into tens of thousands of dollars in the blink of an eye. Consider, this year alone that we saw gains of 5,248% in no-limit coin in just 6 days, 8,294% in Quark, 8,313% in Mediterranean coin, 11,328% in Decred coins, and 13,595% in Fastcoin. Tiny new digital currencies are offering profits even faster than Bitcoin is. Now, to be clear, you don't need to be a computer whiz for this. You don't need to know every detail about how digital currencies work. And you don't have to start actually shopping with Bitcoin or anything like that. Rather, you only need someone with a little know-how to show you how to set yourself up for the biggest profit ride of your life. I've personally made more than 600% in one digital currency, more than 1,981% in a second, and more than 3,500% in another. And I expect to make a whole lot more. As Business Insider CEO Henry Blodgett recently stated, there is infinite upside. Digital currencies are the one place in markets where you can start with $100 or even $10 and turn it into real money fast. I've seen stories of everyday people like Chris Hansen, who turned $27 into more than $886,000. And Marcus Andrews, who started with $300 and ended up with $80,000. But here's where it gets truly exciting. Bitcoin is set to undergo a change that could instantly accelerate the profits for all digital currencies. The gains will be out of this world, but only those who recognize the opportunity right now will see the fast profits. So if you're the type who is paralyzed by anything new, or you're the kind of person who always waits until the party is over to get in, then you may want to sit this one out too. But if you follow the evidence I'll lay out in the next few minutes, I think you'll see that Bitcoin and other digital currencies are on the verge of creating new millionaires all over the world. If you hesitate, you risk missing the greatest wealth opportunity of a generation. My name, by the way, is Adam Sharp. I'm the co-founder of Early Investing, a business my partner and I created to help everyday people understand and profit from the most exciting new investments on the market. A lot of people out there are told that the only recipe for growing their wealth is to buy blue chips or index funds, and then wait 30 years for your money to slowly grow. And while that's all well and good for some, I'm living proof that you can increase your wealth much faster. The key is identifying explosive opportunities in the fastest growth areas outside of the stock market. I've been up more than 50 times my money in private placement deals, and I've already made a small fortune in digital currencies. For example, I got in on one called Ant Shares earlier this year. At the time, it was trading for just $1.50, but I watched it climb to $10.71 in less than a month. And I bought Ethereum at $9.70 in November 2016 before it rocketed to $355. I was up 3,559%, and I recently obtained 27,000 coins in a tiny digital currency for just 18.5 cents each. The value of my position has since increased as much as 1,981%. I cashed out 12,000 coins at $3.50, but still hold the rest, nearly $100,000 in total. A lot of people out there talking about Bitcoin and digital currencies don't truly understand them, but I've lived it. I've made a great deal of money from it, but there's so much more to make going forward, we haven't even scratched the surface. You should look at putting a small amount of money in Bitcoin. Just one coin could one day be worth more than $1 million. But there are also now dozens of small digital currencies trading for just a few cents that are moving up dramatically over very short periods, like Ash. It traded for just 2 cents a coin, then it shot up to $1.15. $100 turned into $5,750. Or No Limit Coin. It jumped 5,248% in 6 days, from June 14th to June 20th. Every $100 turned into $5,348. Or Mediterranean Coin. Between March 4th and June 30th, it was up 8,313%. Imagine collecting 83 times your money in just 3 months. It all boils down to this. Bitcoin has created a whole new market that's only going to grow from here. A single coin purchased today could go as high as $1 million. So if you want to just buy one Bitcoin and hang on to it, there's a very real possibility you'll end up a millionaire. I'll show you how you can do that today. But if you're interested in getting in on ultra-cheap digital currencies that have even more upside potential, the profit opportunities are endless. With most of these digital currencies, you can get in for just a few pennies. Yet they have the potential to rise to $10, $50, or even $1,000 per coin. The upswings are happening so fast we can hardly keep up. In just 1 week in June, 23 separate digital currencies rose more than 100%. Let me repeat, 23 currencies doubled in 1 week. By comparison, the S&P 500 hasn't had a single stock double this entire year. So far, the best performing S&P stock in 2017 is Vertex Pharmaceuticals, up only 75%. So why is this happening? Why are digital currencies rocketing higher? Let me explain. The number one objection I hear when I talk about Bitcoin is that it has no real value. Because it's a digital currency, some people believe it's less valuable than physical currency. I can understand the criticism. You can't hold a Bitcoin in your hand, and most people haven't owned or transacted in Bitcoin yet. It's new and misunderstood, and people are always skeptical about new innovations. Look at what happened when the internet was first introduced. Magazines like Newsweek declared it nothing more than a bunch of hype. They made spectacularly wrong predictions like, no online database will replace your daily newspaper. One day, we'll look back at the doubters of Bitcoin and ask, how could they have been so blind? Because those who today believe Bitcoin is just a fad haven't really studied the situation closely enough. It's actually one of the most important inventions ever created, and it has real value. Most importantly, Bitcoin and other digital currencies cannot be controlled by reckless governments and banks. Think about the dollars in your pocket. The government prints as many as it wants, whenever it wants, always decreasing the value of your money. It's the reason the dollar has lost 97% of its value since 1913. By comparison, digital currencies like Bitcoin have a strict limit on creation of new coins, so they actually go up in value. Take a look at this chart of digital currency prices. It's going in the exact opposite direction of dollars. Wouldn't it be nice if the dollars in your pocket or your bank actually went up in value? With digital currencies, that actually happens. Bitcoin can also be much cheaper in terms of transaction costs. Try to move as little as $10,000 in cash, and you'll encounter all kinds of fees, laws, and roadblocks in your way. But Bitcoin can be easily transferred in seconds. Microsoft founder Bill Gates summed it up nicely. Bitcoin is exciting because it shows how cheap money can be, he said during a Bloomberg TV interview. Bitcoin is better than currency. For large transactions, currency can get pretty inconvenient. And Fidelity's CEO told the Wall Street Journal that Bitcoin is a more efficient way to settle transactions. The smartest minds know that it's a better way of doing business. And the excitement surrounding digital currencies right now is only getting bigger. Just look at this chart showing the number of Bitcoin transactions taking place across the globe. It's going straight up. The United States is leading the way. We have the most Bitcoin ATMs and the highest number of users. But worldwide, it's growing spectacularly fast. Japan just passed legislation declaring Bitcoin as legal tender. South Korea is now one of the largest Bitcoin exchange markets. And China has become one of the largest hubs for cryptocurrency. Denmark, ranked 6th in Forbes' 100 Best Countries for Business, recently declared that it wants to go 100% digital currency. Other countries seeing massive growth in Bitcoin usage include Sweden, Finland, Canada, Australia, and the UK. And businesses across the globe are accepting digital currencies as forms of payment. Microsoft just announced that it reprogrammed its key software to accept Bitcoin. You can now use Bitcoin to shop on Amazon. Dish Network accepts Bitcoin, as does Dell Computers and Whole Foods. The list goes on and on. Subway, Expedia, WordPress, Reddit, Virgin Galactic, OkCupid, Tiger Direct, CheapAir.com, Tesla, Wikipedia, Zanga, Etsy vendors, Overstock, Bloomberg, The Gap, GameStop, JCPenney, Europacific, SimplePay, Stripe, and Webjet. Every single one of these companies allows customers to use Bitcoin. It's plain to see that digital currencies are exploding in use, and the richest people in the world recognize the opportunity here. Mark Cuban just invested in digital currencies. Apple's Steve Wozniak just invested heavily in Bitcoin. Billionaire Mark Novogratz, chief investment officer at Fortress Macro Fund, called it the best investment of my life. But remember, for all the incredible growth we've seen, only 1 out of every 28,000 people own 1 Bitcoin. And Bitcoin still makes up only 0.011% of all global money transactions. We haven't even scratched the surface of how big this thing could be. Financial analyst Rick Falkvinge predicts a huge run from here. Each Bitcoin would be worth $100,000 at the low market cap and $1 million at the high market cap, he says. Some people say it's destined to go even bigger. McAfee founder John McAfee calculates the price of Bitcoin at $2.43 million in 3 years. And Bitcoin expert Trace Meyer shows if you move just 1% of offshore cash into Bitcoin, you were looking at $2.8 million per Bitcoin. I repeat, that's $2.8 million for one single Bitcoin. Yet, more than 99% of investors are still sitting on the sidelines. And they are going to watch the few people who act immediately collect all the rewards. Digital currencies are delivering profits like never before. And if you identify the right ones, you could make more money in a few months than you would in an entire lifetime of investing. Just look at Ethereum. It's now the second biggest digital currency behind Bitcoin. Ethereum is a form of smart money that has far more utility than traditional dollars, euros, or even gold. That utility is the very reason JP Morgan, Microsoft, and Intel backed it. Now, back in January 2016, Ethereum was trading for just 96 cents per coin. So you could have had 1,000 Ethereum coins for just $960. But here's what happened next. By April, it was up to $7.42. 1,000 coins equals $7,420. In September, it reached $12.68. 1,000 coins equaled $12,680. Come March 2017, it was up to $29.92. 1,000 coins equals $29,920. On May 22nd, coins traded for $186.89. 1,000 coins equals $186,890. And by June 13th, 2017, it peaked at $391.51. Your 1,000 coins would have grown from $960 to $391,510. That's an exceptional 40,682% return in 18 months. To give you some idea of just how crazy that is, consider this. Google's total return since it started trading is just 1,682%. Ethereum returned 24 times more profit in just 18 months. But here's the thing. What Ethereum experienced is just beginning in other digital currencies. We're seeing dozens of new coins explode in value very quickly. Take Ash, for example. It's a new coin that launched on April 1st, 2017. Almost nobody had ever heard of it, so it traded for just 2 cents per coin. At that price, you could have taken a flyer on it and purchased 5,000 coins for $100. Just 80 days later, Ash coins were trading 5,650% higher. And your single $100 bill would have grown to $5,750 in less than 3 months. Or take another digital currency like Fastcoin. In February 2017, it was so cheap that a tiny $100 investment landed you several thousand Fastcoins. All you had to do is leave those coins sitting in your account and wait. 4 months later, here's what happened. Your $100 had turned into $13,695. $500 would have been worth $68,475. And $1,000 would have grown to $136,950. Let me give you an even better example. One of the things I love about digital currencies is that they are so incredibly cheap. You can often buy thousands of coins for just a few $100s. And if those coins soar in value, you can become incredibly wealthy. Dubai Coin is a perfect example. It launched on March 7th, 2016. And at the time, every $1 got you more than 1,000 Dubai coins. So let's say you wanted to give it a shot and put $10 down. $10 bought you 10,941 coins. Then you forgot about them. You went about your business for more than a year until one day you check your account to find your $10 in Dubai coin is now worth $82,385. That's how powerful these digital currencies can be. A single $10 bill turns into nearly 100,000. And if you had decided to get a little more aggressive and invest, say, $200, you'd be sitting on $1.6 million today. I could name dozens of coins that delivered massive results like Quark, up 8,294%. WorldCoin, up 6,792%. Kryptonite, up 75,063%. Influx Coin, up 59,577%. $100 put into each of those digital currencies could have handed you a total of $150,126. Of course, you'd need excellent timing to get in at the beginning of all 4 of these, and not every digital currency is going to work out. But can you show me one other investment sector that gives you the chance to make so much while risking so little? Especially when you have access to someone like me, who identified these winners long before the mainstream media did. Only in digital currencies will a single $100 bill have the potential to make you rich. In fact, with Bitcoin itself, just $100 invested 7 years ago would be worth $75 million today. People's lives are changing very quickly because of digital currency profits. Take Charles St. Clair. He was working a boring banking job when he decided to invest $7,000 in Bitcoin. Since then, I've made a little more than $300,000, he says. Now Charles has quit his banking job to start his own business. Or look at Marcus Andrews. In 2 years, he turned $300 into $80,000 and counting. But he believes that Bitcoin still has a long way to go. We're still in the early adopters phase of the curve, he says. Once it goes mainstream, it's not anywhere close to this yet, the price should actually take off. Or take the story of Chris Hansen out of Norway. Back in 2009, he was writing a paper about new digital currencies. During his research, he discovered Bitcoin and bought just $27 worth. He promptly forgot about it and didn't even look at his account again until years later. By then, his $27 investment had grown to $886,000. he sold a fifth of it to buy a nice apartment in one of the wealthy areas of Norway's capital. These are stories you don't see in any market except digital currencies. $27 would never give you the chance to be a near millionaire in the stock market. My belief is that everyone should own at least one Bitcoin because, as the number one digital currency, it has a real chance of going to $1 million. But you should also get in on those other digital currencies that can deliver even faster profits. And I've found several that I believe could return many times your money in the months ahead. But you must act quickly on this. Only 1 out of every 28,000 people own Bitcoin now, but that number will soon rise dramatically. Consider, in just the last month, 1 million new users joined the major Bitcoin exchange, Coinbase.com. People are finally waking up to the potential here. This is the last chance at the biggest profits, especially because a coming event is set to take every one of these digital currencies much higher. But before I get into that, let me explain exactly why digital currencies rise in value so quickly. It comes down to simple mathematics. You see, unlike paper currency, Bitcoin and other digital currencies have a fixed limit on the creation of new coins. They have to be mined by computers with very strong processors. And over time, the equation behind Bitcoin automatically cuts in half the production of new coins. So when Bitcoin first began, you could mine only 50 new Bitcoins at a time. Then it was cut in half to 25 Bitcoins. And in 2016, it was just 12.5. Creation of new coins will continue to get cut in half until it eventually hits 0. And after that, no new Bitcoins will be created ever. As TechCrunch reports, when the code for Bitcoin was written, it was designed to be a currency with no more than 21 million Bitcoins ever in circulation. That's 21 million Bitcoins max, which may sound like a lot, but of the 21 million possible coins, 16.5 million have already been mined and are in circulation. That means of all the Bitcoins there will ever be, 78.5% are already out there. Very few new Bitcoins will be created going forward. By comparison, the U.S. Bureau of Engraving and Printing prints up 541 million in new dollars each day. That's $197 billion each year. No wonder the dollar keeps dropping in value. So think about this from an investment perspective. With dollars, the government creates more and more every day, with no end in sight. With gold, yes, it has real value, but new gold can also be pulled out of the ground, and more is mined every year. 2,500 tons of it, in fact. But with Bitcoin, you know that once it hits the limit, no Bitcoin will ever be created again. That's why the price is going up so fast, and why it will go much higher still. As Bitcoin approaches its hard limit of 21 million coins, the price will really rocket higher. Transactions in Bitcoin have continued to rise very quickly. But right now, Bitcoin still makes up 0.011% of daily money transactions. For now, it's still in its infancy. But we calculate that if Bitcoin grows to just 1% of all transactions, which many experts think is conservative, it will have to rise to $227,272 per coin to meet the demand. If Bitcoin captures a mere 5% of daily transactions, it will rise to $1,136,000 per coin. That's why every investor should own at least one Bitcoin as part of their portfolio. Make no mistake, I don't believe you should plow everything you have into Bitcoin. But if you could buy one Bitcoin and give yourself the chance to see it grow to $1 million, it would be foolish to pass up that opportunity. Better yet, if you can identify 2 or 3 new digital currencies where you can put in $100 or even $10 and give yourself the chance to make hundreds of thousands, you absolutely should do it. And I can show you the 3 digital currencies with the best chance of success.